Hi guys, this is a instruction video on how to install the induction kit from Ramair for the 1.5 TSI engine. Now this induction kit is applicable to quite a number of different types of vehicles. So you've got the Audi A3, the Volkswagen Golf, the Seat Leon, and in my case, which I'll be installing it on, is the Skoda Octavia Mark IV, I think, or Mark III. It's the 5E is what Octavia refer it as, and it's a DADA engine, 1.5 TSI, and this induction kit is just going to replace the airbox with a cone filter, but also includes a metal surround or guard which separates the what aims to separate the hot air from the turbo and the manifold and whatnot, and sort of retains that natural flow of cool air which comes through the vents on the front of the vehicle. So yeah, it's nice to have a document with the actual product itself. It means that you don't have to download it, you don't have to refer to a laptop or a tablet or a mobile phone or any other electronic device to display the PDF. Quality looks really nice, the instructions look really easy to understand. You can tell it's been quite well thought out, and it's not just been cobbled together from some different previous generation of car. So let's have a look at what we get in the box. But I mean, ultimately this is the main part. It's the actual cone filter itself. You can't really see there, but it's nice. The top feels like a sort of rubberized aluminium or stainless steel. It's certainly metal because it's very cold to touch, but it's got a sort of rubberized texture to it, which is quite cool. Jubilee clips already fitted, which just saves a bit of time. These sort of rubber seals, if you like, they fit on the outside of the frame, just to stop vibration noises, rattling, and also just to give you a nice sort of seal against the top of the bonnet, I guess. In my case, the Octavia's got sort of like a sound deadening material on the upper side of the bonnet. So it'll be interesting to see how butt up this is against that, because it is quite soft. This is the actual frame itself. Yeah, can't really see that, doesn't really make much sense, but it sort of sits, I think it sits in sort of that side, kind of like that. It is quite a simple installation. There's only, I think, a few screws and whatnot that you need. Everything's in the pack. In terms of tools, you will need as per the instructions, once it focuses, a screwdriver, Allen key and sharp knife. There we go. And lastly, this is the connection pipe which connects the to the OE crossover. It's not a crossover pipe, sorry. Just the induction pipe that goes to your turbo. There you go. I think it's metal. Oh yeah, that's metal. Yeah. And also, I mean, I got some freebies, some nice freebies, and a white sticker, which is pretty cool. I got quite a few stickers. I also got some stickers in here as well, some black ones, but some brackets, some rubber grommets, which I'm guessing will connect to the OE, where the OE airbox was connected. Now in this video you'll notice I also have the Ramair induction pipe here. You can buy it as a sort of kit. I think you save a bit of money by buying the two together, but I've already got a replacement induction pipe there. I actually did have the Ramair panel filter fitted, but to be honest it made absolutely no difference whatsoever to the sound, so fingers crossed this cone filter will make a much bigger difference. So what I'm going to do next is show you a before sound of the engine just revving and a drive-by, and then I'll do a quick installation video. It is quite straightforward. Remove the airbox, put the new brackets in place, fit the trim, fit the pipe with the Jubilee clips, job done. There's nothing else really to it. But after that I'll do an after video as well, just to show you guys what it sounds like afterwards as well. Cheers! So the first 4 steps of the documentation, adding the brackets, adding the 3 rubber bungs, and adding the seal around the top sides and the inner circle which goes where your intake pipe will sit. I'd most certainly recommend you do those before you even get near your car to fit these, because it takes longer than what you expect. It took me a good half hour or so to trim everything down. Although it does say get a sharp knife, I'd probably recommend a good set of cutters just to make your life a bit easier for this. A sharp knife is all well and good, but there's sort of this is the trim that I've got left. You can't see from that perspective, but from here, there you go, you can see there's a lining of metal in there, and with a knife that's really tricky. It does snap off, so if you're cutting a good chunk off, yeah, you can snap it off, but if you then go in, oh, I need to take off another centimetre or so, or a couple of mil, it's near impossible with a knife. So some snips definitely come into play. 6 bolts hold all these brackets in place. You can see the heads of these bolts. I would strongly suggest starting with the smaller bracket, because the bolts are diagonal against each other, whereas the other ones are literally sort of perpendicular or horizontal. They are lined. So once you've got the smaller one out of the way, these ones, you just find the holes. Although the CAD drawing there is quite tricky to sort of figure out which angle or perspective that you're looking at the frame, just line those holes up. Honestly, it's just, as soon as you've got that small one done, the second one's so much easier. The rubber bungs just slot in, and then this here, there's actually 3 pieces. So there's a longer piece over the top. I actually managed to get the longer piece here and the inner circle with 1 piece of trim, and then I just had to cut a little piece off the second piece of trim for that. Now there is a notch here, and there is a reason why there's a notch there, so please don't do what I do and go, oh, I'll just go all the way down, why not? That's a bit silly. There is a reason, and it's just there for getting the light. There's a pop rivet and that you just can't push it on. I don't think there's a point. I think it's probably a bit overkill as it is, but once you've done it, you've done it, and it's quite tidy. And then the last sort of part to it is to fit the pipe itself to the comb filter. Notice how the program logo is pointing to the top, because you want to show off that brand name. And if you look at the side as well, you notice the writing there is face down. Alright, the pipe going out to the left and upwards. The only thing I would love to see is black hex bolts, just purely because I think it would blend in a bit. I know that's going to add to the manufacturing process in terms of cost, but it's just me being nitpicky. That it would be nice if they were black, because they just sort of stand out a bit. I don't know, maybe if they were red, that would be pretty cool, but that's really pushing it. Black, yeah, powder coat them. I think the stainless steel. Not sure if you can paint these sort of bolts that colour, but nonetheless, it'd just be nice to see. Other than that though, build quality so far, fantastic, no dramas. The frame, I was expecting a few sharp edges, absolutely nothing. It's been really well made. It does feel a bit flimsy, because the metal is quite thin, but I think once it's fitted, it'll certainly do the job that it needs to. Right, on to installation. Out with the old and in with the new. So step 5, disconnect the intake hose airbox clamp whilst pulling it forward. So unscrew this, take the pipe off, and then lift the box up. The next step is to remove the airbox. It's held in with 3 rubber bungs. There's one, I've already removed it. There's 2, and the third one, I don't think you can see it, it's just down the side there. But once you've done that, give it a little bit of a wiggle, and it should come out like so. So after that, fit the trim. Just these rubber bungs just literally push into place. There's a nice cut out there for what I think is one of your main positive cables going to your fuse box. And there's another 2 bungs at the back. Just make sure they're fully seated, and once it's in place, it's actually quite secure, which is good. So then fit the tube with the comb filter in place, and there's a bit of rubber tube here, so in my case I've got this vacuum line, and it's literally to splice it and to stop it from rubbing against the pipe. It just protects that vac line, so I'm going to cut some of this up and slide it over the top. So on the vac line I've literally cut some of these pieces of rubber, I've spliced them horizontally. That's literally going to slide over just this point here. That's the only point I can see of contact. There's potentially a point just down here, and that should hopefully prevent any rubbing and potential damage. Other than that, a very straightforward installation, and next up will be a sound of a drive-by.